Oh, the beautiful irony of what just happened. I wake up, and what's the story that I see? Piers Morgan has somehow, he has COVID again. You know what? He had listened to the anti-vax people, and he didn't get his booster lately. He didn't get his latest booster, and so it shows him showing his arm. He's showing his bravery. He's a brave man. He's taking his vax. He's getting updated. He's getting his update. Then I'm looking through articles, being like, no, just make some coffee. Just make some coffee. All you gotta do is make it. It makes itself. Just water, hot water. And I think it's Cambridge has some huge study now that it did, finding that 25% of the vaccinated in Britain now have vaccine-acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, VAIDS. VAIDS, bro. So, what this now makes Piers Morgan is what I like to call a yesterday man. See, whether they're Gen X, whether they're baby boomer generation, they could even be millennials, they're just kind of getting round and more silver gray. Just kind of ambiguously old, whether before their time or not, like Brian Stelter. Now that is Team Vades. And you see, I can't laugh because that's not good. And I wanted to just get into, did people like us purebloods call it or not? So now I was thinking about how this is this stack of things, the mountain range of evidence. When people say, oh yeah, the right-wingers, oh, those MAGA people, yada, 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 right? When they start, but now the issue is, oh, those kind of MAGA people, this, that, and the other. But they no longer can, like, the Young Turks be like, we're always right. When they're abhorrently wrong every time, like, you actually should always bet on the nadir of what the progressives, Democrats, the socialists, you should bet on the nadir. If they make a claim, bet that your research will determine at the end of it that the nadir is true. The complete contraposition is true. Not even contradiction, but the contraposition. So I just really now have I'm kind of enjoying that this is just getting crazier and crazier. That it's like, no, we're consistently closer to the mark. Even when we theorize what might happen, we're always closer to the mark. And this now is this thing of, I've started to really had to consider the left of the culture in no longer having any link to tradition of any sort, now no longer has a method of self-effacement. Because one of the key things with the self-effacement, whether it's something Taoist, Buddhist, Jewish, Christian, I'm sure it is the same with Islam, because of the idea that the soul is quite real and is relatively immortal. And that, like, one of the goals is that you purify your soul. And self-effacement would be one of these ways that everybody understands that you purify the soul. And so when your idea is that no, that not only does not such a thing exist, everything is really, you should be defining yourself on your animal urges of your loins and whatever imaginary creature you think you are in Dungeons and Dragons, and so they won't have a method of self-effacement. It just won't be there. And that's going to be very interesting to see what that means in the long run. having no reference for I've done something wrong and this is what I'd rather be. This is, yeah, not really, not a genuine, yeah, because there's no consequence. You can't lose your soul if you don't have one.